Our first question today will be from Jason Kersey, and then we'll go to Eric Bailey. Jason?
Hey, Rhamondre, I'm just can you talk about what DeMarco Murray has done for you this year and kind of how he's maybe helped your game?
I'll say in the most he's helped me out is the reading of the defenses and just knowing what's going to happen before it happens and just instilling I need to run hard and finish plays every play.
Thanks.
Eric Bailey, and then
Hey, Rhamondre, I know Coach Riley puts a big emphasis on third down situations, moving the chains and such. As a running back, I know how much do you really want the football on that situation? How much do you thrive on having the ball in your hands and trying to pick up that first down?
I love those situations. Like, I'm not a selfish player at all, but when it's not a run play on third down, I feel some type of way, obviously. But I know – but, of course, I want the ball every third down, just move the chains.
Rhamondre, thanks. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
okay, Ryan Aber, and then Joe Bettner.
Yeah, Rhamondre, sort of following up on what Jason just asked you, how familiar were you with DeMarco Murray before he got this job? And just, is there anything specifically that he's worked on with you that you've noticed translate into your success over these last couple games?
I knew him just from watching him on TV. I thought he was a great running back, of course. And he was actually my favorite running back, so it's crazy that he's my coach now. But he's there in every aspect. Like, he's been through the process. He actually went to OU. He's played in the NFL. He knows how everything goes. So he just knows, like, the type of work ethic I need and what I need to do to get to the next level. And he's just really getting me prepared for that.
Just a favorite running back just because of where he's from or something else?
No, not necessarily. I just liked how he ran the ball. And the Cowboys actually my favorite football team, so that plays a part as well.
Appreciate it, Rhamondre.
Joe Bettner, and then Bob Prisbillo.
Rhamondre, I'm curious with DeMarco being your favorite running back. I mean, do you remember what it was like maybe hearing that he was possibly going to be brought on as an assistant? And what was that kind of those first meetings like with him in the running back room?
It was surreal, really. Like, if I'm being honest, like, if you guys have my social media, I was posting like, "Oh, DeMarco Murray is my coach. He's about to coach me." So I was very excited. When I had that first meeting with him, I just knew it was going to be great. He's a good guy to be around. He coaches hard and he coaches good.
Okay, John Hoover, and then James Hale.
Rhamondre, I'm wondering, you might have a little different perspective on this question because you didn't play those first few games, but do you hear the coaches as they're, whether it's in meetings or practice or whatever, film study, whatever, do you hear them refer back to the performance of the first few games in a negative sense, like a teaching moment, like, don't forget, yes, you're on a roll, but you also did these first few games against Iowa State and Kansas State?
Not necessarily like as a negative thing, because ever since those games, like, we've been nothing but going up. So, like, we just use that as a coaching point a little bit. Like, we don't forget that, and we just know we need to go out there and play every game, a full, complete game, or, it could end bad. So we just know what we got to do. It's a coaching point, though, of course.
In addition to the addition of you and Ronnie, how much has this team evolved from your perspective, from the things you've seen? How much have they grown beyond those moments against Kansas State and Iowa State?
Like I said, like, I think we're finishing games a lot harder. We're playing a full 4 quarters. Of course, it could get better. We haven't played our best game yet, in my opinion. But we're just getting better and better each week, and I can't wait to see like where this ends up at the end.
Right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
James Hale, and then Lee Benson.
Rhamondre, since you've come back, the running game has picked up a tick, and it's been really, really good. Oklahoma State has a great running game, too. And you know about their guys, I'm sure, if you follow college football at all. Talk about the importance of the running backs in a big game like this, Saturday night rivalry game and everything to it. How important is the running game in this game?
I believe it's very important, and I think my O-line is ready for that. So I don't really got much to say on that, but I think we're ready for that. It's gonna be mandatory that we run the ball well.
Do you know about what they've got going with Chuba and LD Brown and those guys? I mean, do you follow other running backs? Do you know what they're doing?
Yeah, I know they're pretty nice running backs.
Okay, thanks, man.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll go to Lee Benson, and then I skipped Bob Brisbillo earlier by mistake. So, Lee.
Hey, Rhamondre, I apologize if you've answered this before, but before you're able to come back in that tech game, how often were you getting, carries or touches in practice? Maybe first team kind of looks like maybe you probably get now that you're back. I'm just curious, like, how much were you working out with the guys prior to you actually playing?
I had some periods where I was working out with the first team just so I wouldn't lose a step or anything. But I was getting most of my work on scout team against the starting defense, and I think that helped me out a lot as well.
So, real quick follow-up. Before you came back, the running game was kind of struggling to even get to 4 yards per carry as a team. And now that you've been in, it's been 5.5 yards per carry, 6.5 yards per carry as a team. And I know you individually have done really well, but TJ's done really well too, and Marcus and the like. So how much do you think just you being back in the lineup has made it to where the running game as a whole has been better, or is it just how much of it is just everybody else just playing a lot better since you've been back? What do you think?
Yeah, I think everyone else is just playing a lot better. I give a lot of credit to that O-line. They work hard every single day in practice. And my peers in that running back room too, we're just anxious to get better every practice. And I think that's what's leading to the rising of the yards.
Thanks.
Okay, Bob Brisbillo, and then Keegan Renaud.
Yeah, when you were out, what was it like seeing the growth and development of TJ Pledger, and how would you describe your relationship with him?
That's my boy. Like, we get along on and off the field. Like, that's really my guy. We're both from the West Coast, so that's probably a big factor in that. But I seen him getting better and better since last year. And I don't think he still is playing up to his full potential. Like, as all of us, he hasn't shown you his best yet. Neither have I or anybody else in the running back room. I think he got a lot more in store that you guys really don't know about.
Okay, Keegan Renaud, and then Jenny Carlson.
Yeah, Rhamondre, since you've been back, it seems like the counter game for you guys, with you running it, has gone really well. What is it about that play? Is it tough for a running back to get a hang of it, to get used to it, the patience and everything that it takes for it to succeed?
Yeah, it takes a little time because you have to be patient, or it doesn't work. You have to be patient. You have to hit the hole. It's a lot of things that play into that, but it takes time to get used to. But when you get used to it, it's a very great play to run.
And then as games go on, do you feel like you lean on people? It seems like the longer these games go on, even looking at last year, whenever you're put in at the end of the game, that it seems like they have a tougher time tackling you, just from fatigue or whatever it may be.
Yeah, I think so. I think at the end of the games, defenses don't want to tackle, especially a big guy like me. So I think it plays in my favor a little bit.
Thanks, Rhamondre.
Okay, last two, Jenny Carlson and then Parker Thune.
Hey, Rhamondre, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. Hey, we've seen a couple times on social media your mom posting pictures of being at games since you've come back. Looks like you've got some family support. Can you just share a little bit about family and having them at games, and if that's been a regular part of things for you along the way?
Yeah, since high school games, I probably had 15 of my family members at each game. And then JUCO, when I went to California, my family was in Vegas at the time, and they drove out to my games very often. And just having that support means everything to me. They've been with me this whole process since I was 7 years old playing football. So it means a lot to me that they still they've been fighting with me this whole time. So I love it.
Do they usually drive, fly? What's their mode of transportation now that you're a little farther away?
Oh yeah, they definitely fly. And my parents don't like driving that far, so they're gonna fly.
Do you hear them at all? I mean, I know that obviously in normal times it's hard to hear anything in stadiums, but now with less people, are you able to keep track of them during games and stuff?
I'm not. My mom won't forgive me for that. She thinks she yells loud enough for me to hear. It's sometimes hard for me to find them.
We won't spill your secret. Thanks.
Thank you.
And Parker Thune.
Yeah, Rhamondre, I want to go back to DeMarco. You said you were a Cowboys fan. Do you have any particular memories of watching DeMarco in a Cowboys uniform? He obviously had some pretty good years there. So what do you remember about watching him?
I remember his MVP season very vividly.
Is that it, Parker?
Yeah, anything else from Andre? You remember anything else or just the MVP season?
Yeah, he just runs the ball really well. He catch out the backfield. He could pass block. He was just a complete back to me. So I kind of looked up to him, and that's why he was my favorite back.